Before you question it, take a look at this glass. In just a few short minutes, it can reveal if someone's been directing negative energy toward you or if you're currently shielded. And the most surprising part is how simple it is. Just clear water in a glass and your own saliva. It's an ancient check, the kind your grandmother might have trusted completely. If you feel like everything in your life is stuck, like money is slipping through your fingers, your body feels weighed down, your home feels unsettled, and there's no logical reason, this might be more than a difficult season. Pay very close attention. If you do just one single thing before the test, it will deceive you. This isn't about superstition. It's the step almost everyone misses, and then they claim it doesn't work. In a moment, I'll show you the 3 signs to look for in the water. When the saliva sinks like a heavy cloud, when it hangs suspended in the middle, and when it floats right on top, each one means something different. And at the end, I'll show you the correct ritual to cleanse, to seal, and to send any heaviness back where it came from, without you carrying any fear with you. But first, I want you to comment right here, my energy is mine, and stay with me, because the first step begins right now. Before I walk you through the process, lock this image in your mind. When you do it yourself, you recognize it immediately. There are 3 possible patterns. The first is when the saliva sinks straight down like a heavy cloud, almost as if it's being pulled. This is the result that frightens people the most, but it also brings the greatest relief, because suddenly you understand why your life has felt blocked for so long. The second is when it doesn't fully sink, but doesn't float either. It stays trapped in the middle. This one is very common for people living around constant criticism, jealousy, negativity, or in toxic environments. They absorb it without even realizing. The third is when the saliva floats lightly on the surface. Many think this means no action is needed, but I'll explain why even protected people must seal their energy so they don't leave an opening later. And to be clear, you won't just imagine the result. You will see it. That's why this test holds such power. It pulls you out of doubt and into clarity. Now let's do it the right way. Because if you get the order wrong in the morning, the glass will not show you the truth. You only need 2 things: a clear glass cup and clean water. The glass is important. Don't use plastic. The clearer the better, because you need to see precisely what happens. Tonight, before you sleep, fill the glass almost to the top and place it near your bed, on the nightstand, on the floor beside you, near the headboard, anywhere close to where you rest. What matters is it stays near you overnight. Here comes the most critical part, the detail that makes the test lie. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, you do nothing before the test. Nothing. Don't speak to anyone, not even good morning. Don't grab your phone. Don't check messages. Don't go to the bathroom first. Don't brush your teeth. Don't drink water. Don't eat anything. Why? Because that first moment of the day is when your energy is most raw, most untouched. The second you talk, scroll, or distract yourself, your state shifts and the test loses its accuracy. So, you open your eyes, pick up the glass, and gently place your saliva into the water once, naturally. Don't force it. Don't exaggerate. Just what comes. Then, place the glass on a flat surface and observe. Don't move it. Don't shake it. Wait between 5 to 15 minutes. During that time, just watch. I'll tell you something now. Many people feel a slight drop in their stomach at this moment, because it feels like for the first time, you are about to confirm what your heart has suspected for so long. If teachings like this, simple, direct, and practical, help you, make sure you're subscribed to Joshua Selman Wisdom, because here is not just theory. You get a real step-by-step path to cleanse and protect your energy. Now let me share a story that explains why this test can flip a switch in your life. Pay attention, because it has the right age, the right pain, and the kind of block so many women carry silently. Let me tell you about Roberta. She's 52, a hardworking, strong woman, the kind who always held the house together, the family together, and her own business, a salon. For years, her life was what you would call steady. Clients came in, money circulated, the days were long, but had results. She wasn't rich, but she had peace, control, and dignity. Then, little by little, something strange began. This wasn't a normal downturn, not the economy or a slow season. It felt different, like everything that should work suddenly started failing in ways that made no sense. Long-time clients stopped coming. No complaints, no explanations. They just vanished. Employees quit out of nowhere. Tools broke one after another in a way that felt ridiculous. And when things didn't break, there were constant little accidents, cuts, burns, small mistakes. Nothing serious, but non-stop, like a heaviness hung in the air. Then it hit her body, because your body always speaks first. Roberta started feeling an exhaustion that wasn't from work. It didn't go away. She slept but woke feeling unrested. Heavy head, foggy mind, a sudden urge to cry for no reason. Then came the scariest part, stomach pain, a tightness that came and went. She went to doctors, ran tests. Everything came back normal. And when the tests say normal, but the pain stays, the question creeps in, am I imagining this? That's where so many women break, because they carry everything and then blame themselves for feeling it. Roberta started going into debt, cutting expenses, losing her footing. And you know what hurts the most? It's not just the money. It's the feeling of injustice, of being pulled backward by a force no one else sees. Until one day her aunt said something simple but sharp. Roberta, this doesn't feel like a phase. It feels like energy. Roberta resisted, because nobody wants to believe that. But when you reach your limit, you start accepting anything that offers clarity. She went to see an older woman, the kind everyone respects, strong eyes, no sweet talk, the kind who doesn't sound poetic, but hits straight to the point. The woman looked at Roberta and said, my dear, there's envy around you. There's heavy energy attached. And I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to give you certainty. Roberta asked, how can I be sure? The woman answered, tomorrow morning, a glass of water beside your bed and the test. She explained the order exactly. No talking, no phone, no bathroom, no brushing your teeth. The glass comes first. Roberta did it. And when her saliva touched the water, the sign I mentioned appeared. It looked like a cloud, and it didn't drift. It sank straight down like it had weight. In that moment, Roberta felt three things at once: fear, anger, and relief. Fear because she realized it was real. Anger because she understood it wasn't all in her head. And relief because the blame finally lifted off her shoulders. She wasn't crazy. She was reacting to something. Now, this is where you need to pay attention, because I'm about to explain what each of the three signs means and exactly what to do afterward, the right way, without mistakes, even if your result is the most serious one. I'll explain this clearly, without fear. And I want you to understand something important. This test isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to pull you out of doubt. Because when we live in doubt, the mind becomes a prison. And people start accepting suffering as if it were normal. So take a breath and stay with me. I'll explain this so you can see it in your mind even before you do the test. And if you haven't done it yet, that's fine. Watch until the end of this part. In a moment, I'll tell you exactly what to do in each case. Then you can do it calmly, correctly, and come back here to tell me what you saw. First, remember the rule. Clear glass. Clean water beside the bed. In the morning, no talking, no phone, no brushing your teeth. This isn't being picky. It's what keeps the result clean. Now, the 3 signs, I'll warn you ahead of time. The second one is the most misleading. A lot of women look at it and think, oh, it's probably nothing. And that's how life stays blocked for months, sometimes years. So stay with me. Result 1, when the saliva sinks like a heavy cloud and goes straight to the bottom as if it has weight. This is the strongest sign. What does this usually indicate? That there's a very heavy energetic load on you. It could be a direct spiritual attack, intentional work against you, energy thrown with anger, jealousy, resentment, or even an energetic shock you picked up in an emotionally dense place, a stressful workplace, a tense household, a draining environment. And before you think, oh my God, let me tell you the truth. If this sign appears, you are not without options. In fact, you've gained something many people never get: clarity. You stop blaming yourself and you start seeing what's actually happening. What does life usually look like for someone with this result? Most people report 3 areas blocked at once: money slipping away without explanation, emotional health drained, and chaos or tension inside the home. It's that feeling of fighting and fighting, and somehow something always pulls you back right when you are about to move forward. Hold on to this, because it's important and calming. Even when the energy is strong, it does not mean you're weak. It means you're sensitive. Sensitive people feel more, pick up more, absorb more. That's why they need to cleanse and seal. Now, here comes the first key part of the ritual. If this is your result, what fixes it is not panic, it's method. You will do a deep cleansing for 3 days and then you seal. I'll give you that step by step very soon. But first, I need to show you result 2. Because many people in result 2 are just 1 step away from falling into result 1. Result 2, if the saliva doesn't sink all the way down, but it doesn't float either, it stays suspended in the middle of the glass like it's trapped. This is the most common result and also the most deceptive, because it doesn't shock you like the first one. So people tend to downplay it. And that's exactly why life stays stuck in the same loop. One day things improve, the next they fall apart. One good week followed by another that unravels. This result usually points to accumulated negative energy, jealousy around you, heavy looks, people draining you with criticism, emotionally polluted environments. Sometimes it's even the house itself holding energy from arguments, sadness, financial stress, illness, family worries. Let me say something that many women over 50 feel deep in their bones. Some people don't need to touch you to weigh you down. A look is enough. A comment is enough. A silent wish is enough. And when you're a woman who carries a lot, who takes care of everyone, you become a target without realizing it. The signs of this result usually show up as fatigue that comes and goes, repetitive thoughts, trouble sleeping, irritation for no clear reason, and especially that feeling of, I'm not moving forward. If you saw yourself here, don't blame yourself. Just understand this. It calls for preventive cleansing. Because accumulated energy doesn't disappear on its own. It transforms. And if you don't clean it, it turns into weight. In the ritual for result 2, there's a very simple step many think is silly, but it's the exact step that cuts the energy stuck to you. I'll explain it soon, but first I need to talk about result 3, because it looks like the best one, but hides a risk. People think they are protected. They relax. And relaxing is how you leave the door cracked open. Result 3. If the saliva stays on top, light, almost like a thin film. This result means protection. It means that right now there isn't a heavy active load on you. No strong attack hitting you at this moment. That's good news. But here's what almost no one tells you. Protection is not permanent. Protection is a state, and states change. Why do they change? Because life changes. You meet people, you enter places, you walk into tense rooms, you listen to other people's problems, you carry worry. Little by little, without noticing, small openings appear. So if this is your result, you don't stop, you seal. Sealing is like locking the door, closing the windows after cleaning the house. There's no point in cleaning if you leave everything open. Here's something powerful for women to hear. When the result stays on top, it often means you have personal strength. Your energy is firm, but firm energy needs maintenance because the world tests it. Now I want to ask you something, because it helps this video reach more people and creates a strong current here. When you do the test, come back and comment just one word: bottom, middle, or top. And if you want, add your age and your city. Because when one woman reads another woman saying middle 56 Chicago, she feels less alone. And that gives strength. I'll be reading them because I want to know what showed up for you. Now comes the part that changes the game. Because understanding the sign is only half of it. The other half is acting the right way. From here on, I'm going to give you 3 very clear parts. One ritual for those who got bottom, one for those who got middle, and a sealing ritual for those who got top. Pay attention. I'm starting with the most urgent one, because if your result was the first, what you need is method and calm. I'll guide you step by step without mistakes. Let's begin with the most urgent path, the ritual for those who got bottom. Listen calmly, because when we're scared, we miss details. And here, details are everything. First, a truth that brings relief. If your result was bottom, you do not need to panic. You need 3 things: cleansing, repetition, and sealing. You're going to cleanse for 3 consecutive days. That's how heavy energy actually releases. One day may bring relief, but it doesn't cut the root. So mentally note what you'll need. It's all simple: water, white vinegar, garlic, lemon, and salt. If you have rue, even better. If not, do it anyway. Now pay attention to why this ritual is so effective. It works on 3 levels at once. The vinegar breaks the heaviness. The garlic cuts what's attached. The lemon draws it out and cleans. And the salt grounds and seals. It's like cleaning the inside of a house and then washing the floors. Here's how you do it calmly. Heat some water. When it's very hot, add a splash of vinegar, a few crushed garlic cloves, lemon juice, and a handful of salt. If you have rue, add it too. Let it warm together briefly, just enough for the scent and strength of the elements to activate. An important detail: it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to look like a movie ritual. The power is in clear intention and respecting the steps. When the mixture is ready and no longer scalding, go to the shower. Take your regular shower first. Soap and water like always. Then, with your body clean, slowly pour the mixture from your neck down as if you're washing off an invisible weight. While you do this, say a simple but very strong sentence. You can say it softly or silently. Anything that is not mine leaves now. All heavy energy returns to its place of origin. I cleanse myself. I release myself. I close myself to harm. No shouting, no drama. Firm, simple, final. Now comes what holds this ritual together. You don't do it once and forget it. You repeat it for 3 days in a row. No skipping. Because the first day loosens, the second day cleans deeply, and the third day seals what was opened. Many women report, when done correctly, a sense of relief in the chest. deeper sleep, a quieter mind, like the house inside finally gets silent. This isn't instant magic. It's cleansing. And cleansing is a process. After this bath, avoid arguments. Avoid absorbing other people's problems. Avoid constantly checking yourself, because clean energy is like a wet floor. If you walk on it with dirty shoes, the marks come right back. Here's the point that keeps many people watching, because it's the final step for the bottom result. After the third day, we do the ritual of returning it to its origin the right way, without anger, without obsession, without needing to know who did it. This matters because a lot of people make mistakes here and end up feeding fear. And fear feeds exactly what you're trying to get rid of. Remember this order. First, you cleanse for 3 days. Only then do you return it and seal. Now, I want you to do something quick to stay connected here. If your result was bottom, comment only bottom. I cleanse. No explanation needed. Because when you declare it, you stop feeling alone and you start feeling direction. In the next part, I'll teach you exactly how to do the return to origin ritual safely and firmly. And right after that, the sealing, which is what keeps it from coming back. Now comes the step many people want, but I'll teach it the right way. Because there's a huge difference between returning to origin and feeding revenge. We're not going to do anything with anger. We're going to act with spiritual justice. What doesn't belong to you does not stay with you. Period. So, after the third day of cleansing baths, here's what you do. You need a clear glass, water, and a little salt. That's it. Preferably at night when the house is quieter. Fill the glass with water and add 3 pinches of salt. Then, naturally, without forcing, place your saliva into the water 3 times. After that, stir once slowly with your finger. Now comes the most important part. What you say it firmly but calmly. Anything sent against me, consciously or unconsciously, all energy of jealousy, heavy intentions, or harmful influence, I now return to its place of origin to be handled by divine justice. Nothing that does not belong to me remains within me. My energy is mine. My path is protected. Notice this, you're not wishing harm on anyone. You're simply removing from yourself what was never yours. That's protection. That's boundaries. After that, place the glass somewhere safe and undisturbed for the night. The next day, pour the water into the toilet and flush. And that's it. You don't keep revisiting the topic. You don't try to figure out who did it. You don't feed paranoia. You release and you move on. Because when you release, you close the door. Now let's move into the ritual for the middle result, the most common one. Pay attention. It's simpler, but it's also what saves many people from eventually falling into bottom. If your result was middle, you will do a preventive cleansing for 3 days. Lighter, but consistent. At night before bed, take your normal shower. Then, from the neck down, pour warm water with salt over your body. Just salt. While doing it, repeat, I remove from myself all energy that is not mine. I cleanse myself. I close myself. I protect myself. Now, here's the detail that actually cuts the build-up during these 3 days. Avoid constantly complaining out loud about life. Avoid sharing your plans with negative people. And if you notice someone draining you, stay quiet and step away. It sounds simple, but it works like spiritual scissors. Now, comment here quickly so I know where you are. If you've done or are about to do the return to origin step, write I close myself. And if your result was middle, comment middle cleansing. In the next part, I'll teach you the sealing ritual that works for everyone, including those who got top. because sealing is what keeps your home and your energetic body closed for longer. This is the part many people ignore, and later they don't understand why everything comes back. Let me put it simply. Cleansing is like cleaning the house. Sealing is like locking the door afterward. If you clean and leave it open, things come back in. I'll start with the path for those who got top, because it's the most deceptive. When the saliva stays on top, many people think I'm fine, I don't need to do anything. But protection without maintenance is like a broken umbrella. You think you're covered until the rain starts. So here's the monthly sealing ritual. It's for those who got top, and it also reinforces protection for middle and bottom after cleansing. You will need 3 things: water, salt, and rosemary. If you don't have rosemary, you can do it with salt alone, but rosemary makes it more complete. Boil the water for a few minutes. Add a handful of salt and some rosemary. Then let it cool to warm. Take your normal shower. At the end, slowly pour this water from the neck down. While doing it, say simple and firm: I seal my energy, I seal my home, I seal my path. Nothing that does not belong to me enters. I am protected. Now comes the part that gives this real power: your behavior in the next 24 hours. Because sealing isn't just water and salt. Sealing is a decision. For the next 24 hours, avoid arguments, avoid gossip, avoid conversations that drain you. That's how the seal holds. And most importantly, avoid staying stuck in the thought: is someone doing something against me? Because that thought becomes a thread, and energy follows threads. If you want protection, you don't feed the idea of attack, you feed the idea of protection. That changes everything. Now I'm going to give you 4 warnings, and they are solid gold. They are small things, but they decide whether this work flows clearly or whether you stay stuck in that back and forth cycle. First warning: the saliva test has to be done the right way. No talking, no phone, no brushing your teeth. If you did it and felt confused, do it again another day, calmly. Sometimes people rush, then want a perfect answer. Energy needs order. Second warning: when you return it to origin, you do not need to know who did it. The universe knows. Life knows. If you try to figure it out, you create a tie with that person. And a tie is an open door. So you return it and you let go. Third warning: discretion. Don't go telling everyone you did the test, the ritual, the return. Some people, just by knowing you're cleansing, get irritated and send more weight. Others, even unintentionally, contaminate you with fear. So keep it to yourself. This is between you and your protection. Fourth warning: after you cleanse and seal, some things change. People drift away. The environment feels lighter. You sleep better. And sometimes, yes, someone who used to drain you starts feeling uncomfortable. Because when you close the door, those who fed on your energy feel the absence. That's a sign of success, not a mistake. You don't chase, you don't explain, you move forward. Now, I want to close this in a way that speaks directly to the woman who carries the world on her back. If you're watching this and you recognize yourself, know this: you are not weak. You stayed too long absorbing. And absorbing too much is not destiny, it's a habit. And habits change with clarity and protection. So, to close, I want to ask you for 2 things. And this helps you and helps other women too. First, if you did or are going to do the test, comment your result below: bottom, middle, or top. And if you want, add your age and city. It's simple, but it creates a powerful current. Second, comment this sentence to seal your intention: I protect myself. My energy is mine. Because when you declare, you align. And when you align, life starts to move again. If this video helped you, share it with a woman who keeps saying, everything in my life feels blocked, and I don't know why. Sometimes that woman is your sister, your mother, your friend, or yourself, who stayed silent for too long. Now, I'll leave you with one last insight, because in the next video, I'll teach a simple ritual to seal your home through the front door and cut heavy energy before it even enters. If you want that next one, write in the comments, I want the door one. Before you go, I'll give you a bonus tip that almost no one teaches, but it makes all the difference. Especially if you live with other people, receive visitors, or feel like your house pulls your energy. There's a silent mistake many women make. They do the test, they cleanse, but they keep their energy open in daily life. And then the weight slowly returns without them noticing. So, I'm going to teach you a 24-hour quick seal. It works in 3 situations. First, if your result was bottom and you're still cleansing. Second, if it was middle and you want to cut accumulated energy. Third, if it was top, to keep your protection firm. You won't need anything expensive, just a glass of water, a pinch of salt, and a very clear intention. Here's how it works. At night before bed, take a clear glass with water and add a small pinch of salt, just a pinch. Place the glass near the front door of your home on the inside. If that's not possible, place it somewhere high and safe near the door, like a shelf. What matters is it stays close to the entrance. Now comes the part that changes everything. Place your hand on the glass for 3 seconds and say calmly and firmly, I close the entrance of my home to everything that is not mine. I do not accept jealousy, malice, heavy intentions, or dense energy. Anything that comes with harmful intention loses its power here and returns to its place of origin. Only peace, health, and prosperity are allowed inside. After that, you go to sleep. During that night, that glass acts like a filter. It pulls in and holds anything that tries to cross your door. Heavy energy from visitors, negative thoughts, jealousy, gossip, even the weight of everyday worries. The next morning when you wake up, you do one important thing. Take the glass, pour the water into the toilet, and flush. That's it. You don't reuse it. You don't save it. You don't stand there staring. You release it and you move on. Let me tell you why this is powerful. Your home is your sanctuary, and the front door is the mouth of the house. When you seal the door, you seal your life. If you do this for 3 nights in a row, you will notice a very real difference. Less tension, lighter conversations, deeper sleep, and a kind of quiet inside your mind. Now, comment here just so I know you received this bonus tip. My home is sealed. Now, let's take a moment to breathe, because sometimes when we hear these truths, our shoulders tighten and our mind starts racing. I want you to soften that. This isn't about adding more weight to your day. It's about finally putting down a burden you were never meant to carry. This work, this sealing, it's an act of kindness you give to yourself. It's saying, I matter enough to be protected. And for the woman who is always last on her own list, that sentence alone can change everything. Think about your energy like the air in your home. You wouldn't leave the windows open during a dust storm, letting everything blow in and settle on your furniture, on your bed, on the food you eat. You would close them. You might even clean what already came in. This is the same. The world is full of energy, some of it light, some of it heavy. You are not a victim for feeling it. You are human for being sensitive to it. But you become the guardian of your space when you choose to act. So let me walk you deeper into the feeling of what happens after you seal. It's not always a dramatic flash of light. More often, it's a quietness that grows. It's waking up and realizing the tight knot in your stomach you'd gotten so used to, it felt normal, has begun to loosen. It's having a difficult conversation and noticing you didn't feel drained afterward. It's looking at your bank account and for the first time in months, seeing a plan instead of just panic. It's the small, stubborn weeds of anxiety starting to lose their grip because the soil of your spirit is no longer feeding them. This is the real result. Not just a clean glass of water, but a cleaner, lighter life. I want to speak directly to the doubt that might be whispering to you right now. The part that says, is this really for me? Maybe it's just coincidence. Maybe I'm overthinking. Listen to that voice and then thank it for trying to protect you from disappointment. And then gently choose to experiment. Choose to try this for yourself, not because you are desperate, but because you are curious. Because you deserve to know what it feels like to move through a day without an invisible weight on your back. You deserve to know what your own energy, clear and bright, actually feels like. Now let's expand on the ceiling of your home, because your home is your anchor. It's where you rest, where you heal, where you should feel safest. The front door ritual I shared is powerful, but let's build a circle of protection around your entire space. You can do this on a Saturday or a Sunday morning when things are calm. You need just one thing: salt. Ordinary salt. Walk to the front door of your home. Take a pinch of salt and, starting at the left side of the door frame, sprinkle a very thin line of salt along the threshold. As you do, say, this door is sealed to all negativity. Only peace enters here. Move to the back door if you have one and do the same. Then go to each window in your home, just the main ones, and place a single small pinch of salt on the windowsill. You don't need to speak at each one. Your intention is already set. This isn't about creating a fortress of fear. It's about drawing a circle of calm. You are declaring, within these walls, my peace is the priority. And here's a truth about energy that will set you free. It flows where your attention goes. If you spend your days worrying about who might be jealous or what might be coming, you are pouring all your power into the very thing you fear. The most powerful seal you will ever create is the direction of your own mind. After you cleanse, after you seal your space, your most sacred job is to redirect your focus. When an old heavy thought tries to return, you don't fight it. You acknowledge it. There's that thought again. And you gently turn your inner gaze towards something that feels like peace, a memory of a happy moment, a plan for a small joy, a feeling of gratitude for your own strength. This is how you build a new habit. This is how you become unreachable to the old weights. Many of you will do the test and feel a shift immediately, just from the clarity. For others, it's a slower, gentler unfolding. Trust your own pace. Your spirit knows how to heal when given the right tools and a little space. And I want you to promise yourself one thing: no more blaming yourself. If your saliva sank to the bottom, you are not being punished. You are being asked to listen. If it hung in the middle, you are not foolish for not seeing it sooner. You are now aware. And awareness is the first, most potent step toward change. If it floated on top, you are not safe enough to ignore your spiritual hygiene. You are being given a strong foundation to build an even stronger fortress of light around your life. So, as we move toward closing, feel the community right here in these words. You are not doing this alone. When you comment bottom 48 Phoenix or top 60 Atlanta, you are adding your voice to a chorus of women who are deciding today that their energy is their own. You are creating a wave of intention that lifts everyone. That is powerful magic in itself. Now, for the next 7 days, I want you to carry a simple mantra with you. is just 4 words. Say them when you wake up, before you check your phone. Whisper them before a difficult meeting. Think them as you fall asleep. I am sealed in light. That's all. I am sealed in light. Let the feeling of those words, the image of a gentle, bright light surrounding you, fill your mind. This is your daily practice. This is how you maintain the seal. Remember Roberta? After her cleansing, after her return ritual, she didn't become a different person. She became a clearer version of herself. The clients who were meant to stay returned. The calm in her salon settled back in. The fog in her mind lifted. It didn't happen overnight, but it happened. And the most beautiful part was that she stopped waiting for the next bad thing to happen. She started trusting her own cleared space. That trust is what I want for you. Not a life without challenges, but a life where you face challenges from a place of inner clarity, not from a place of heavy accumulated fog. You have always had the power to protect your peace. Sometimes we just need to be reminded of the steps. You've been given the test for clarity. You've been given the rituals for cleansing and sealing. You've been given the bonus tip for your home. Now, the final ingredient is your consistent, gentle action. Your belief isn't in the water or the salt. Your belief is in your own right to feel light, to feel clear, to feel at home within yourself. So let's end this where we began, with your declaration. Look at your own hands. These are the hands that will prepare the water, that will sprinkle the salt, that will open and close the doors of your life. They are capable. You are capable. Let's solidify this. Comment one more time with conviction. Let the words be your first act of sealing here with us. My energy is mine. My home is sealed. I am protected. I am reading everyone. I am honoring your step, and I am here on Joshua Selman Wisdom to keep walking this path with you, step by simple step, back to your own light. Let's talk about what happens next. After the glass is emptied, after the salt is sprinkled, after you've spoken your words of sealing into the quiet of your own room, this is where the real magic lives, not in the ritual itself, but in the ordinary moments that follow. In the cup of coffee you drink without a racing mind. In the walk you take where you notice the color of the sky. In the deep uninterrupted sleep you have that night. This is the evidence. This is the sign you've been waiting for. Not in the water, but in the weight being lifted from your own soul. I want you to imagine a garden. Your energy, your spirit is that garden. For a long time, perhaps without you even realizing it, you've allowed every seed carried by the wind to take root. Seeds of other people's opinions, seeds of their jealousy, seeds of their worry and their drama. They grew into vines that wrapped around your own beautiful plants, stealing your sunlight, choking your peace. The cleansing ritual is the careful work of removing those foreign vines. The sealing ritual is putting up a gentle, fine fence, one that lets in the sun and the rain, but keeps out the seeds that don't belong to you. Your garden was always there, waiting to thrive. Now it has the space. There will be days you forget, days you'll fall back into old habits, listening to gossip, absorbing a colleague's stress, carrying home the tension from the grocery store. You will feel that familiar heaviness return, a tightness in your shoulders. This is not failure. This is being human. This is your sensitive nature doing what it has always done, feeling the world deeply. The difference now is you have a tool. You have a knowing. Instead of letting that heaviness settle in for weeks or months, you can recognize it by Tuesday and decide, tonight, I do the glass of water by the door. Tonight I take my salt shower. You are no longer a passive receiver. You are an active guardian. And guardians check the fences. They tend the garden. They notice when something has crept in. Let's speak about the people in your life. Because when you change your energy, the ecosystem around you shifts. Someone who was used to dumping their emotional baggage on you might call less. A family member who thrived on drama might suddenly find you uninteresting. A friend who fed on your sympathy might grow distant. This can feel like loss. It can trigger old fears of being alone. I need you to see this for what it truly is. Your protection working. Your peace taking up space. It is not your job to chase them, to explain, or to shrink back down to a size that makes them comfortable. It is your job to stand in your cleared space and trust that what is meant for you, true companionship, genuine love, light-filled connections, will find its way to you now. The right people are attracted to clarity, not clutter. Now, let's go deeper into the return to origin ritual. That phrase, divine justice, is important. It's not about you sending punishment. It's about you releasing the burden of being the judge and the jury. You are handing the entire situation over to a wisdom much greater than your own. It is saying, I am not qualified to carry this. I do not know the full story. So I release it to the universe to handle with perfect fairness. This act is one of profound trust and even greater power. It cuts the last cord that binds you to the heaviness, the cord of your own obsession, your own need to know why or who. When you flush that water, you are flushing your own attachment to the pain. You are making room. For the next month, I invite you to a practice of noticing. Don't hunt for signs. Just live your life, but with a soft awareness. Notice if you laugh more easily. Notice if an unexpected solution to an old problem pops into your mind. Notice if you feel a spark of motivation to clean a drawer, to call an old friend, to start a small project you'd abandoned. This is your energy flowing freely again. This is your creativity no longer blocked. This is your life force rising. These are the real world results of spiritual work. It doesn't always look mystical. It looks like you finally having the mental space and the emotional bandwidth to live your life. I am going to give you one more anchor for the moments when the world feels too loud. It's called the breath of sealing. You can do it anywhere. In your car, at your desk, in a crowded room. Close your eyes if you can. Take a slow breath in. And as you do, imagine a soft golden light entering through the top of your head. Hold that breath for a second, letting that light fill every part of you. Your heart, your stomach, your tired feet. As you breathe out, imagine a dark or gray smoke leaving through the soles of your feet, going down into the earth to be recycled. Do this 3 times. Inhale light. Exhale heaviness. This is a mini seal. A reset. It reminds your spirit of its own power to cleanse in an instant. Remember, this path is not about becoming someone who never feels negative energy. That's impossible. You are a living, feeling being in a world of energy. This path is about becoming someone who knows how to let it pass through you, or how to gently clean it off before it sticks. It's the difference between living in a dusty room and just accepting the dust, and knowing you have a broom, knowing you can open the windows, knowing you can sweep your own floor. You have everything you need. You have your intention. You have your breath. You have water and salt and a quiet moment in the morning. You have a community right here in the comments saying, I see you, I feel that too. You are not alone in this. You are part of a gentle revolution of women choosing to take their energy back, not with anger, but with a quiet, unshakable determination. So let's move forward from this place, not as students of a test, but as practitioners of peace. Comment below, not just your result, but one small shift you've noticed since you started paying attention. I slept through the night. I said no without guilt. I felt joy today. Speak your small victory into this space, because that is how we build a mosaic of hope for each other. Your story, your shift, is the torch that lights the way for someone else still sitting in the dark, wondering if it's just her. This is your reminder. Your energy is not just yours to give away. It is yours to cultivate, to cherish, and to protect. It is the source of your life, your love, your creativity. Guard it like the sacred flame it is. Tend it and watch as your world begins to align with the quiet, powerful light you have decided to become. Let's sit for a moment in the quiet after the work is done. This is the space where the real transformation begins to whisper, not shout. It's in the softness of a morning where you don't immediately reach for the phone, but instead you lay there for a few extra seconds and feel the simple comfort of your own breath. That feeling, that is your energy coming home to itself. It's not dramatic. It's a gentle return. Think of your life as a river. For a while, the waters may have been muddied, stored up by storms upstream, by things thrown in from the banks. The rituals, the tests, the seals, these are not about stopping the river. They are about becoming the clear, deep part of that river again, where the water runs clean and you can see the stones at the bottom. You can see your own truth again. The mud settles. The current carries the debris away. You are still the river, powerful and flowing, but now you are clear. And when you are clear, you can navigate your own path with so much more confidence. You know where the rocks are. You know your own depth. I want to talk about patience. Spiritual walk is not a race. It is a rhythm. Some days you will feel lighter than air. Other days, an old memory or a stressful encounter will bring back a shadow of that heaviness. On those days, be kind to yourself. Do not accuse yourself of failing. Simply recognize, the weather in my spirit is cloudy today. And then, with the same care you'd use to put on a coat, you return to your practices. The glass of water by the door, the breath of sealing, the mantra, I am sealed in light. This is maintenance. This is love. You are not starting over. You are simply tending the garden once again. Now, let's expand your circle of protection to include your voice. Your words are powerful creators of energy. For the next week, practice this one small thing. Before you speak about a problem, pause. Ask yourself, am I speaking to find a solution, or am I speaking to spread the weight of this feeling? This isn't about pretending things are perfect. It's about refusing to add power to the heaviness by giving it your repeated voice. When you choose to speak with intention, you build a seal around your tongue. You stop leaking your power out into conversations that drain you and go nowhere. You'd be amazed how the energy in your home, in your workplace, shifts when you simply become more mindful of what you give your words to. There is another layer to this, especially for the caregivers, the mothers, the healers, the ones who are always the strong shoulder. You must learn to distinguish between compassion and absorption. Compassion feels like an open heart. It says, I see your pain and I hold space for you. Absorption feels like a sinking heart. It says, I see your pain and now it is mine to fix. And it sits on my chest. You can love someone deeply without taking their spiritual weather into your own atmosphere. Your sealed energy allows you to do this. It lets you be a lighthouse, steady, bright, guiding, without being the stormy sea, trying to calm every wave that comes to shore. This is perhaps the most advanced form of sealing, loving with boundaries. I want you to imagine a month from now, you've been consistent, gentle, patient. What does your life feel like? It's not that problems vanish. It's that you meet them with a different inner material. Instead of brittle glass that shatters at every impact, you become like strong, flexible wood. You can bend with the wind without breaking. You can withstand pressure because you are rooted and clear. A challenge arises, and instead of your mind spiraling into off course, everything is always going wrong, you might find yourself pausing, breathing, and thinking, this is difficult, but I have my clarity. I have my tools. I can handle this step by step. That shift in response, that is the ultimate protection. That is your energy working for you. So, let this be an invitation to a lifelong friendship with your own spirit. Check in with yourself like you would with a dear friend. In the morning, ask, how are you today? And listen to the feeling in your body, not just the thoughts in your head. At night, instead of scrolling into numbness, place your hand on your heart and say, thank you for today. We are sealed. We are safe. This daily dialogue is the most powerful ritual of all. It tells your soul that it is heard, that it matters, that you are home. The community here is a testament to this. When you read a comment from a woman in another country saying she felt the same fog lift, you realize this isn't just your story. It's a human story of reclaiming peace. You are part of something quiet and beautiful. Your commitment to your own light adds to the collective light. It makes it easier for the next woman to believe she can do it too. Your journey forward is simple, step by step. You have the map now. The test for clarity, the rituals for cleansing, the practices for sealing, the mindfulness of speech, the compassion with boundaries, the daily friendship with yourself. You don't need to do it all at once. Just pick up one stone from the path and then the next. As we continue, know that my voice here on Joshua Selman Wisdom is just a reminder of the voice you have inside you, the one that already knows the way back to peace. Trust that voice, nourish it, protect its quiet space. Now, let's seal this moment. Close your eyes. Take one deep breath. As you exhale, release any last fragment of doubt that you are the rightful guardian of your own energy. Feel the truth of it settle into your bones. You are the guardian. You are the keeper of the garden. You are the clear, deep river. When you're ready, comment below with your heart's current weather. Not just the test result, but the feeling. Sun breaking through. Calm after the storm. Gentle rain. Speak your truth. And remember, no matter what the weather is today, you are not the storm. You are the sky that holds it. And the sky is always, always clear above the clouds.